people are born, and the world they're born into, they tend to accept, obviously, this is how the world is. And most people go through their lives without questioning, why is the world like this? There are other ways of doing it. They just follow and do the system rules. Life lives for them. And I've spoken at the Oxford Union, the Oxford University a few times, not for a long time, where you have you go there for a debate and stuff like that. And what they do is they take you out for a bit of dinner beforehand. And I was sitting on one of these occasions, last time actually, around a table sipping me soup. And there was some of the students around that were in the debate. And one of them was sitting there. He could have been more than 18. And this kid could not conceive of any society that wasn't top-down, hierarchically controlled. It would never work. He simply couldn't do it. He was perceptually controlled by the system in the sense that he couldn't see any alternative to the system was possible. And people in general are like that. But when the system's crashing, well, we've got to start considering maybe there are other ways of doing things. Maybe there are other ways of living your life whereby you might not have the possessions and the things in the way that you did before, but maybe you will be happier. Because maybe human relationships will start to form that will override the technologically controlled so-called human relationships that have emerged in the last few decades. Relationships are no longer between people, they're between humans and technology. People have allowed technology to become so addictive that you see it all the time. People sit around a table and they're not talking to each other. They're having a relationship with a bloody phone because people are being divided in that way. Now, maybe if we saw there are other ways of doing things, and I'm coming up to 70, so I was born in 1952. I remember a world like that. There were no phones, there were no computers when I was growing up. Didn't exist. You talked to each other. There were no video games. You made your own fun with your own ingenuity, your own imagination, your own creativity, because you had to. And, people of that kind of age are able to see this extraordinary transformation in their lifetimes that has happened, and how technology is taken over. And it's taken over relationships because, of course, the relationship they're heading towards is the relationship between AI and the human bloody brain. So people don't even think anymore. AI thinks for them in totality. That's where it's moving. So maybe if the system comes down on the way they want to the Great Reset, new status quo, maybe we can take that opportunity to have our own status quo and live life in a different way. Because for sure, the life that we've lived so far is over. It's not going to come back. We have to decide where we want to go and how we want to live our lives from now on, and it will be different. That doesn't mean it won't be better. It won't mean at all that it won't be better. What will make it not better is if we allow the Great Reset to happen, because that will take tyranny into levels that are almost unimaginable, the perceptual tyranny. But are they 8 billion of us? I think I can see a way out of this.
Look back in history. Virtually every culture, every era, every nation in the entirety of human history has had the same dynamic. The few control the many. Now, why is that? Is it the natural order of things? No, it's not. It's acquiescence of the many to the few. And so it's gone on all the way through history. And therefore, because this whole hidden conspiracy, not in the now for anyone with a brain, has entered the room, now we can see what's been going on the whole bloody time. The few have controlled the many because the many give the power to the few. This is the opportunity to end that dynamic forever, or at least for a long time, until the people in the future forget, and say, look, this is how humans have been controlled all the way through. Let's stop doing what's allowed the control all the way through, and we might get a different outcome.